Hey now to all my hey now type people. Hello world. How are you? I miss you. I love you. Happy birthday to Bernie Fox. Happy birthday to the Road Devils. Happy birthday to the world. Speaking of the Road Devils, I've been thinking a lot about disappointment lately. Um, yeah, disappointment in general. I'm not trying to be dramatic and maybe not disappointment like you see in the movies. What's that movie with the kid gets stung by the bees? I think disappointment comes more like entropy. It's like a slow burn or a slow conditioning. I think that kind of disappointment comes when you're a kid and you get a little taste of it here and there throughout your life. I want to take a moment and talk about my first taste of disappointment in my life, and that happened. I want to say roughly around first grade, so I don't know, 1980, something like that. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? I mean, you're obviously watching this video, so thank you for that. These are musings of a Gen Xer in exile. I think this is the current zeitgeist, and the thing to do is to kind of emotionally let go. So here's some more Gen X black pills from Jason. Hey, how are you? That said, that disappointment I'm talking about is something else. Um, so like I remember when I was in either kindergarten or first grade, whenever they had a big school assembly at the end of the year, and the kids who had perfect attendance that year all got a trip to Disneyland. Like, I was stunned. I had only been to Disneyland probably once in my life prior to that, when I was very, very young. And coming from a lower middle class, suburban, somewhat in the ghetto, not really in the ghetto home, that was something to look forward to. My little mind couldn't put together kind of the two and two makes three in that, but man, that next year in school, I showed up every single day, whether I felt sick or not, whether I didn't want to go or not, whether or not I was going to get picked on by other kids, third graders, fourth graders, what have you. There was going to be a huge reward. There was a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That reward was the happiest place on earth. That was a dream that I was sold when I was such a young tot. So I dragged myself. I did not miss one day, even through the smog and the climate at the time, which was horrendous because it caused me to have asthma. I just did what exactly was, what was asked of me. I never got dropped off. I usually just either rode my bike or walked to school, and I was compliant. I thought maybe if I did everything I was asked of me that I would earn my reward later. I guess that's a social contract, and I guess that's how it goes. So fast forward to the end of the year, they have the same school assembly, and sure enough, they asked me to get up on the stage because they're about to award all the kids who had perfect attendance. So I go up there, head held high, very proud. End of the year of the school, feeling like I was on top of the world. Mind you, I was alone. I really didn't have my parents around. I think my grandma might have been there, but that's a different story for a different time. And so, like, they go around to start, have all the kids lined up, hand me a certificate. It says, good job on perfect attendance. And they say, okay, that's it. We'll see you next year. Have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful summer. And then at the end of it, I was like, okay, They're they're reaching into a bag to hand something. Maybe these are the Disneyland tickets. They hand me a pencil and they hand me a frisbee. And they say, "Here you go." I think something in me foundationally changed that day. It's funny too because that frisbee was not even like a frisbee brand frisbee. It was a frisbee that had an advertisement for Glad trash bags on it. What a fitting way to put forth not only this metaphor of life, but this metaphor life lesson about disappointment. Because it wasn't about the frisbee or the pencil. Also, the pencil was funny too, because the pencil had embossed on it the words, "I care enough to do my very best." Those words rang with me forever, to the point where it's not something you get a tattoo of, but it's already tattooed in your brain. But it was the first time in my young life, mind you, I'm like in first or second grade here, Washington Elementary School, that the promise, the work, and the reward did not equate. So 2 plus 2 did actually equal 3 that day. I think that was a early lesson and an early way to be trained to tolerate disappointment. If you work hard now, you get rewarded later. If you sacrifice now, reward later. Good job, my good and faithful servant. Is that what God says? If I stay loyal, like 21 years in the Road Devils, I'll get a reward later. Except, here's the thing, that later, every single time, without fail, ended up being that pencil and that frisbee. And eventually I started seeing a pattern. It was not until I was very older. I mean, I would say even until recently that pattern recognition, that great noticing, that reward is never equal to that sacrifice. Um, School doesn't really do anything except prepare you for the next stage in life, which is work. It doesn't really teach you anything about life or any life skills or what have you. Um, the bulk of your life is spent in a job, if you're unlucky enough, like me, and that job demands loyalty, which in turn you will never get. It's almost like we have to take 20-year chunks of our lives and look back at them to realize what bullshit all that really amounted to. For my generation, Gen-xers, this one's for you. Retirement moving further and further away. Our kids are growing up. Our health is getting worse. Our parents are living to into their hundreds. Who's going to take care of them? I don't know. We still work our hands to the bones. Maybe even work side gigs. Maybe even do shit on the weekends because you know what? It sounds like a never-ending race to catch up. Some of us don't even own houses. I don't fucking own a house right now. Um, yeah, you got to pay for your kids' college. You got to pay for your health care. Um, friends. I'll show you friends. Religion. What a fucking joke. And let's not even get into politics. I mean, you know what? Just turn it off. I think despite all this, at least I haven't lost my sense of humor. At least what remains of it. So if y'all get a chuckle from this, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I hope people don't ever mistake my humor and my sarcasm for laziness, ineptitude, maybe a little bit of apathy, but that's about it. And I think apathy is kind of like the sum total of what happens when you've been conditioned your whole life to be disappointed. You just stop getting excited about things. You don't really trust institutions anymore, like religion, like the government, like your work. And you stop believing in promises that are made to you. Social Security, you ever heard that what is it, 2033-77 rule? Look it up. It's coming up. All of us are, oh, you know who that impacts directly, by the way? Gen Xers. Wake up, buddy. Wake up. Whoa, buddy. But isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Nobody's really sincere anymore. What is it? What's a Tool song? Stinkfist? Play that. It's pretty good. Pause. Underneath all that sarcasm, that quick wit was everything's laced with grief. I think some of the best comedians are the most tragic people. Some of the greatest artists are the most tragic people. I mean, look at our heroes, Gen Xers, our heroes from the good old early '90s, late '80s, what have you. Kurt Cobain, dude was exhausted by fame and disconnected from the world around him and overwhelmed by expectations. I mean, the dude had everything. He had a family. He had probably money. He had the best drugs. He had a best band, the Beatles of our time, if you will. But it was too much. Lane Staley, the guy embodied isolation and emotional decay in a way that only sounded and felt prophetic. All you have to do is sit and listen to the album Dirt, or even, may I recommend, the one album with the dog that had three legs on it, I think. I can't remember what it's called. Also, the album Unplugged is from Alice in Chains, is life changing. And who else? Our other the holy trinity of quote unquote grunge rockers. Chris Cornell. His voice was something unmatched. I think that one really hurt me. His voice haunts me to this day. Not only in how he sings with the Audio Slave, but how he sang in Soundgarden. Having songs like Pretty Noose, Like Suicide, Like a Stone. These were not only anthems, but these were like talking about things I think that were core to a lot of folks in my generation. I mean, the list is long. The list is long. So many folks that we lost during that era. Um, some would say because they think Gen X is weak. I think the problem was inverted, actually. I think that Gen X had to become too emotionally self reliant way too early in their lives. And we also had to deal, not only deal with and absorb, but embrace disappointment. Coming home with a key tied around your neck to an empty house, you know, you'll hear the words over and over again from other Gen Xers. We learn how to improvise, to entertain ourselves, make macaroni and cheese on our own. Dad, I'm sad. Dad, I'm this. Well, go deal with it on your own. Dad, this isn't fair. Well, tough shit. That's life in the big city. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the ball bounces. Welcome to the real world. The real world. Where 10 strangers become totally friends. Or not. Another Gen X flashback. I think the downside of being radically independent was this isolation. But I mean, there are times when the isolation actually feels good. I like that fortress of solitude sometimes. I became really good at surviving alone later in my life. I think I got too good at it, and I think I embraced it a little too much. I think this conversation matters, and I just want to send a shout out for people who were born between 1972 and 1982. I don't have the numbers, and I'm not a statistician, but you know what? They're out there. They're out there, man. Read them. There are high rates of midlife depression, substance abuse, suicides, suicide risks with this generation than any other generation before it or after it. There's lots of things that have contributed to this, and I'm just kind of reading off my notes here: economic instability, social fragmentation, chronic stress, declining community, untreated mental health struggles. And this is often felt particularly in men. I think a lot of Gen X dudes were taught two emotional feelings. I'm going to let you in on something. These are unwritten rules, but also spoken rules. These are the two emotional settings that I'm allowed to have: work and silence. I don't know about you, but silence can become dangerous, especially when disappointment piles up on that silence. The disappointment of being laid off, the disappointment of letting your family down due to addiction, depression, being in debt, the disappointment of breaking up your family or being from a broken family, failed dreams that evaporate, health scares, and now something that invariably that I'm finding that I deal with more and more is loss. Loss of friends, loss of loved ones, but not only that, loss of community. You know, I used to belong to a classic car club since 1946, RDFL, they say: respect, dedication, family loyalty, all really just a facade for show games and Ponzi schemes and drama and all the regular bullshit that goes around a hobby that basically costs too much money than what we can afford or what our bodies are able to give to it as we get older. But I'm still here. I will still here's a really good playlist that I made on Spotify. Look it up. Still look at the world and cynicism, even though Conan O'Brien told me not to, and I'm still here. And I don't know. Maybe the fact that I'm still around kind of actually means something. We'll see. Because once the illusion dies, something honest can finally begin. I feel like I'm at the age where I'm going to stop chasing the American dream entirely and maybe just, I don't know, maybe that wasn't my dream anyway to begin with. It was just to survive and to endure disappointment instead of chasing after a house or chasing after a that second car or that third car and that thing that I needed or whatever, that boat, whatever the fuck. I'm just seeking peace. I'm seeking authenticity. I'm seeking connection. I'm seeking creativity instead of consuming. That's pretty deep. And I'm seeking to live instead of just merely function. So maybe the back end, I don't even want to call it the second half of my life. I want to say the last third of my life. It's going to be about reclaiming myself from the system that only valued the productivity that I gave it. And maybe the hope in your 50s doesn't look at ambition anymore, but hope looks something like this. What I'm having right now, which is excellent. A quiet morning. Project in the garage, a day without any kind of responsibilities. Creating some art, making some videos, maybe playing some games. Valuing and acknowledging that friendship that you have, and to everybody who is my friend, who is in my circle, you are precious to me. You are where my wealth is right now. And your wealth is not found in the things you have physically, but the things you keep. And what do I talk about with that? When I mean that in terms of wealth, I mean your health and your friendships and your family. That is where your wealth is. So I'm going to look for hope in that. I'm going to look at not being completely numb anymore. Because despite everything, despite the erosion of my dreams, despite the betrayal I've felt in my life, and despite that bitter taste of disappointment, we are all still capable of meaning. And that is the final act for Generation X. We're not going to save the world. We're just learning how to finally live honestly inside it before our time runs out. My name is Jason. I miss you. I love you. And I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks for listening.